Even a basic understanding of systems can radically transform your life. The world is full of complex systems, and by approaching them with the right framework, you can really gain insights into the cause and effect relationships that produce a better or worse system. In this video, we'll explore the basics of systems thinking and leave you with actionable knowledge on how to leverage this mindset to achieve your most ambitious goals. My first introduction with systems thinking was back in college. Although we exist in an integrated world of complex systems, I didn't have conscious awareness of this until recently. While in college, I studied mechanical engineering and then moved to industrial engineering. Throughout my beginner level classes, I was doing okay on my homework and exams, but was spending way too much time and effort to achieve even acceptable grades. The main reason for this is because I felt like I was being bombarded with information that didn't at all relate to what I would expect it to while in class. I was struggling, honestly, and not thinking I was cut for engineering, and went to one of my professors for help. Quickly, he could see that I was spending way too much time off in the weeds, not seeing the bigger picture. I was spending hours of my days studying and yielding no results because my focus was captured by the wrong information. He quickly sketched out a diagram for me which changed my perspective of the world forever. This diagram not only helped me in his class, but it caused me to understand the remainder of my engineering courses with far less confusion. Outside of the classroom, this concept has helped me make radical improvements in my personal development. I'm now able to narrow my focus upon the small amount of actions that truly drive results and completely lock into these things. It's also pulled back the curtain and showed me how large corporations are honestly enslaving the masses to serve their needs. It's made me more aware of the issues with the economy, the government, and social media corporations as a whole. So what did my professor share with me that day that changed my life forever? Well, it's quite simple actually. So simple, in fact, that you certainly already know of it. Even with the awareness of this concept, you most certainly are not putting it into practice and yielding the fruits though. This simple concept is that of systems thinking and the 5 crucial components of every system. To fully understand this concept, we must start from the basics and define a couple of terms. Firstly, what is a system? A system is simply an entity which transforms one thing into another. An example of a system we've all interacted with is a car wash. You have the desire for a clean car, right? You take your dirty car through the process of water, soap, and cleaning devices, and before you know it, you have a clean car. I'll let you use your imagination to think of a couple more examples of systems. But the next term that I wanted to define is that of a systems thinker. A systems thinker is a person who can see the complex systems which exist within our world. A systems thinker observes systems and analyzes the 5 pillars of them, gaining insights about the cause and effect relationships and the conditions which produce a better or worse system. If we return to the car wash example, a systems thinker would be able to analyze the system before partaking in it. They'd understand the 5 aspects of every system and recognize if they want to take part in the perpetuation of the system by taking their car through the wash. Systems thinkers are very valuable in today's society. They can narrow their focus onto the most important information that is the present and leverage to reduce time, money, and energy. If you feel like these videos are reducing waste in your life, definitely hit the subscribe and like button and comment your thoughts below. I really appreciate it. Of course, our goal is to reduce all of these things. And if the car wash wants to stay in business, they need a systems thinker on their payroll as well. Someone must be there to analyze if the system is operating as intended. Are the cars clean when they exit the wash? Are they too clean? Can they reduce the amount of water and soap, which are large expenses for the operation? Are we recommending the appropriate settings or process for the vehicle that's entering? Did we choose a good location for this business? Do we have enough employees to dry the vehicles once they leave the wash? These are all questions a systems thinker will be asking themselves. And all of these questions are valuable to be answered because they relate to the maintenance and improvement of the system. If you work at the car wash and don't understand the fundamental nature of how the system works, you'll be spinning your wheels looking for meaning in areas where there is none. The same thing applies throughout the rest of your life. If you're not sold on the importance of being a systems thinker just yet, let's take a moment to reflect on the importance of system thinking for achieving our own goals. If you're reading this, you most certainly have goals already. You're looking for ways to achieve these goals, and if you do have a goal, that means that you're currently in an undesirable state in a way because you're looking to grow, of course. You have the desire to have something that you currently do not, which means that at the moment you identify something about your life which is in a way undesirable. In order to get that which we lack, we must undergo a transformation process. Much like a dirty car going through the process of the car wash to transform into a clean car, we must go through a self-improvement or transformation process to achieve the goal that we've set. As you can see, the way that you achieve your goals is through following a process, which is best achieved when you fully understand the system in which that process operates. And on this channel, we try to share as much as we possibly can on the correct processes to get to your goals. And it's quite obvious that we could all benefit from being a systems thinker. We all now understand how systems thinking can prove advantageous to our goals as well. To make it abundantly clear on how to become a systems thinker, I want to share the framework that I learned in college. And it's important to recognize that success is about the application of the little things consistently over time. And it can be boring, but depending on where you are in life, this concept may seem simple, but if you never take the time to apply it and ingrain it into the way that you think, you'll suffer from a waste of time, money, effort, and energy, and probably a lot more. So I guess let's get right into it. There are only 5 parts to every system, like I mentioned before: environment, input, process, output, and feedback. To solidify this concept, let's return to the car wash example. The environment is the location of the car wash. If you decide to open a car wash in the middle of Alaska where it's below freezing 11 out of 12 months of the year, you're not going to get many customers and your business will likely go under pretty quickly. The environment is a crucial aspect of the system. As Warren Buffett once said, it's not how fast you row your boat, it's how fast the stream is going. And most processes are only possible under the right environmental conditions. Think about baking a cake. The environment is the kitchen, and specifically the oven. The oven must be at the right environmental temperature to make baking the cake even work. If the environment is off, the process fails to produce a quality output. The input is quite simple. It's whatever is entering the system. It might be a dirty car or the ingredients that you're using to make your cake. You need to understand that the condition of the input is good, it's valid before it enters the process. If you choose to bake a cake with 3-month-old eggs and the wrong type of flour, the cake will taste disgusting. It doesn't matter if you mix the ingredients properly or have the right oven temperature. If your input ingredients are bad, the cake won't turn out. To ensure that you understand this concept properly, always remember the phrase, garbage in, garbage out. It's pretty simple. Now the process, though, is certainly the most complex aspect of the entire system. Depending on the system, the process could be hundreds of steps and several subsystems existing within it. For the car wash, the amount of water hoses, soap systems, brushes, air blowers, and all that different type of stuff are hard to imagine. The process requires a great deal of engineering, but it's still worth trying to understand as a layman. The output is whatever is pumped out by the process. Before designing a system, you should have an expectation of the output, a standard that you want to be held to. If you don't define what you hope to get out of the system, then you're playing a dangerous game. You'll waste a lot of time and resources and might create some unintended consequences to your actions. Feedback is often an overlooked part of the system. It's one of the most important parts of the system though, because it lets you know if the output is up to your standard, and it'll direct your focus to the other three components. If there's ever a problem with your output, you know it must be a problem with the input, process, or the environment. It's that simple. You can run an investigation to understand the problem further, but this only occurs when you take the feedback into play. Sorry if this explanation was a little bit lengthy, but I thought it was really important to get very detailed and help you fully understand what it means to be a systems thinker. It might take some time for you to fully appreciate this concept, and it's honestly best absorbed through application in your own life. One of the best exercises that you can do with this knowledge is to begin to understand what systems that you fall into, depending on your environment. On your self-improvement journeys, the only thing that stands in our way are bad habits. These bad habits are triggered by environmental cues most of the time. The environmental cue puts us through a process or a habit which results in an undesirable state of mind, further away from the goals that we've set. When you have the understanding of systems, though, you can leverage it by dismantling the systems in which that your bad habits exist. This is one of the primary missions of science, of this YouTube channel. We strive to help others raise their self-awareness over the systems that they exist in and redesign them to encourage progress towards their self-defined success criteria. If you're someone who's clear on the desired output, but through listening to this video can recognize that there's a lot of work to do to optimize your own system to achieve that output, then I really hope that these YouTube videos are valuable, and definitely subscribe because we'll be providing a ton of value as often as we can in this regard. We've spent years applying our engineering backgrounds to solving real problems that plague the human condition, and are confident that through these YouTube videos or even one-on-ones will help be able to identify what areas of your life could be enhanced through the design of a new system. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.